Okay, everyone. So in previous episodes, we introduced you to our local nest box program that Dustin manages. Today, we have an exciting update. It's a girl.
And a boy and a girl and four more boys and four more girls. There were 12 hatched ducklings. And no, I have no idea if they were 6 and 6, but going with the law of averages there.
Yay. So the wood duck eggs in one of the nest boxes that we've been updating you guys on in previous episodes has hatched. Dustin, can you give us the details on this big news in our family?
Absolutely. Not only did they hatch, but it was a very successful fledge. So wood ducks jump out of the nest box the very day after they are hatched, and we have great interior box footage of that. But starting at the beginning of the story, according to my records, we knew that estimated hatch date was going to be around May 15th. And it so happens that on the morning of May 14th, I started getting an unusually large number of alerts for that camera inside the nest box. So I got online and went to check out what those clips were all about.
All right, and let's take a look. Are you ready?
Yep.
So what we're going to show you is a montage of all of the clips that were taken starting on May 14th and going straight through to the end on May 15th, right?
That's right. These cameras really just capture 30 seconds at a time and have a rest period in between. So think of this as sort of like a 24-hour time lapse of video of what happened from hatch through jump. So first is I noticed that the hen, after all those alerts, was actually moving eggs around, and she started kind of manipulating an empty egg, and they actually eat the eggshells to replenish calcium.
You can hear little tweets.
Yeah, I can't tell if it's the hen cooing to the babies to encourage them to hatch. We can see there at the top there's a broken egg, and now on the lower left, one is hatched. The empty egg is on the lower left, and the mom is now tending to that baby, telling him, like, go to sleep. Or cleaning it off, I don't know exactly.
He went to sleep so fast.
Punk.
She's like, finally, he's down for a nap.
So that was at like 8 or 9 a.m., which is earlier than I've noticed them hatching before. And then later in the day, we finally got a view of all of the babies that had hatched when mom went out for her normal break in the afternoon.
Look at how adorable they are. And
she took a much shorter break than usual and came back to the nest after about 45 minutes only.
She's probably worried about her babies.
Yep. And so you can start to see like how much energy these little ducklings have and all the work the mom has. And there she is eating one of the eggshells again too. That one at the bottom flapping its wings, getting ready. So later on this day, I actually turned off the camera to conserve battery because I didn't want to miss jump day. And so in the morning, she came out and was looking to see if the coast was clear, but for whatever reason, she decided this wasn't the time, not quite yet, so she went down back into the nest. I've seen them all look up at the hole, stare at the camera.
They're so sweet, and you can already see markings on them.
Yeah, and if you look closely, you can even see their egg tooth. That's the little white dot at the tip of their beak that they use to break through the egg. Now, a little while later, about 20 minutes later, she went to see if the coast was clear again, and this time she actually did leave the nest. So from here, we're going to see that she disappears, and the babies have all started jumping. There was like a minute or two where the camera was not on. So where there's 12 babies here, the next shot only shows about half of them, and they're still working their way out of the nest.
And she's calling for them as she's leaving the box. So now half of them are outside with her, and you can see Dustin put this grating up, which makes it easier for them to climb out.
Yeah, but they're not always good at knowing that that's the way to
go. No, you gotta go that way, guy. Oh, he got it. But wait.
This is the last little duckling.
Oh, I feel so bad for him.
You can hear it calling to the Mom and siblings.
And they're waiting for him outside, right?
Of course.
Oh, buddy, turn around. Oh, no. What if he doesn't find his way out?
Well, luckily we had a camera in the box so that I knew I was able to check. And
He's gone.
yep, we didn't get the very last shot because the camera was taking a break between trigger actions. But we know that the box was empty. They all clearly hatched successfully.
That's awesome.
And fledged successfully. So that was 12 out of 12 successful fledge.
Okay, so now they're out of the nest box. So, like, what happens now?
Well, so these babies can feed themselves and they can swim and they can walk and stuff. So the mom just leads them off into the swamp where they eat all the duckweed and the aquatic invertebrates that they can find and feed themselves. It actually was raining pretty heavily that morning when they fledged, so they might have spent some time sheltered under her wings if they got tired. But mostly they're going to be swimming around in the thick vegetation along the edge of the swamp until later on in the summer. We'll start to see them emerge onto the mud flats and stuff when they start to, think about flying. But they won't be flying at all until September or so.
That's amazing. I'm so excited. Okay, so any final thoughts from you as you're kind of like the hospital for wood duck boxes. Like you're the maternity ward. Like any final thoughts about this?
A little bit. We're lucky that that last duckling did make it out of the box. I've had occasions where one duckling didn't make it out for some reason, or actually it was one that it didn't hatch quite in time with all the rest. So when I went back to check the box that year, there was a partially hatched duckling and the family had all gone. So that one went off to a rehabber. So this is helpful in having the camera inside the box, because if that had happened, I was checking it within 5 minutes and I would have been able to go manually remove that duckling and get it back reunited with its family. But luckily we didn't have to do any of that stuff.
And when you talk about a rehabber, you're talking about someone who's a licensed wildlife rehabber in the state of Massachusetts.
Correct. We actually drove them to Rhode Island because there's not that many of them. But yeah, for sure. But yeah, hopefully there is another nest box out there that a hen has been checking out. Now it's getting late in the season, but she's been checking out a couple days in a row. We might actually have a chance for another filmed jump day. And if we're lucky, this one is closer to a good vantage point. So if that one happens, we'll be able to get some exterior shots as well. But until then, here's a clip from a previous jump day so everyone can see the view from the outside and what it looks like as the hen gathers the babies and they make their way off into the world.